guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shayna and I do a ton of different content. Today we're doing a read with me and it's a great arc that I'm doing for Amber Palmer for this book right here called Between the Pines. I am so excited about it. It is a second chance romance, small town ranch whiskey tasting, pet named Darling, and it is the snippets that she's shown from it. It seems really hot and a lot of fun. I'm really excited to get to know Lincoln and Josie and read their story. So we're going to do a read with me for this arc review, so be sure to check that out on February 17th, which is today, when you are seeing this. So we're going to get into it. I am sorry if the video is somewhat shaky. I am currently on the highway. My husband is driving and we are headed on vacation, and we have a 3.5 hour drive, so we are going to be reading this on the way there. I have made it to the very first Darlin, and it's sweet. He wore a black t-shirt that hugged a well-defined chest. I can get down with that. No. Okay, so this is already a recipe for disaster. Alcohol, and I have enough cash to last at least another hour. I said, licking my lips and leaning forward. Lincoln. His gaze dropped, tracking the movement with hungry eyes as I said his name. Maybe if you're good, I'll tell you my name. Oh yeah? He asked, dropping his voice. And what's your definition of good, darling? I shrugged, trying to keep control of my rapidly beating heart. Keep me company and find out. I haven't seen that movie before. Getting sick of dancing around what I wanted, and what I wanted was her. That is a perfectly well-written line. The difference between dirty talk and cringeworthy talk. There have been a handful of times when one of my exes would say something in the heat of the moment. He thought he sounded panty melting hot when he actually sounded ridiculously cringeworthy and ruined the moment. There is a difference. Lincoln sure didn't have that problem apparently, because that was something. Said it with ease, like he just asked me about the weather. It was sexy and confident, and well, I fucking loved it. Take notes, gentlemen. Palmer came up with is perfect, and it's hot and very teasing, and damn, she fucked up by asking him to do what she did. Just saying. I mean, it's gonna be really good for her in the end, but still, he's playing her like a fiddle in the good way, not the bad way. I shouldn't have liked torturing her as much as I did. I'd never been with someone as mouthy as she was, but there was something about her that had me toying with every line I'd ever said. Damn. Okay. I think we should have left him at the table. No? She looked over her shoulder, her hand sliding along the scarred wood as she bent over and waved her ass in a dangerous taunt. This is the really sad, hard part. I'm mighty sure there isn't a damn thing you could say that put me off you, and then he kissed me. For women who have self-confidence issues and issues in the past, that is everything you could say to them. Everything. That he pulled the fuck over on a busy-ass highway because she was overthinking and her mind was getting in the way. All right, talk to me, darling. What's going on? On a freaking highway, pulled over to make her talk. I have to open my big fat mouth. I should have shoved those fears down and tapped them like I'd done so many times before. I tried to laugh, but it was hollow. Nothing. I don't know. I'm just being silly. Lincoln shook his head. Now, why don't you try again? I know you're lying. It sounds like someone I know. All I know is that I don't plan to let those thoughts in your head ruin whatever this could be. We could burn out by morning. If that's the case, so be it. But why don't we just keep doing what we're doing and see where it goes? That is too sweet. No, that's wrong. Stay, Josie, stay. You don't need to go. He's perfectly right for you. Stop overthinking. This is the kind of shit that if your brain worked the way it should and humans could stop making stupid decisions, you wouldn't have so much heartbreak. But that's just not how life works. It's just not. Now that was the saddest shit I've read today. That was the saddest shit I've read. Oh no. Oh no. Show up at your daddy's ranch that you didn't expect. Oh, I'm excited for this reunion. I'm excited for this reunion. Here we go. No! nothing more than a note in 2 words. You just don't understand the feeling you get when you like connect with people in this, and then you know they left and now they're meeting back again. Oh, dude, you just don't get it. Why I removed every candle containing pine or leather from my house, throwing them out and giving them to my sisters. Because they smelt like him and they reminded her of him. Josie? Okay, sugar, you look like you've seen a ghost. She kind of has. Oh, hi, Dad. Sorry, I'm shocked to find the guy I spent 5 incredible days with standing in front of my yard because I left him with nothing more than, and I'm sorry, scribbled on a piece of paper I found on his counter. He took off his hat, reaching forward to shake my hand like he hadn't just turned my life upside down. Nice to see you again, darling. I'm dead. You can kill me now. This is a second chance. You were miserable when you came home from Tennessee last year, moping around the house like someone had died, Lennox said. Your second chance truck right there. It felt like he was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I was paranoid as hell, worried about what he'd do or say. I was more worried about the stupid fucking butterflies that had sucker punched me right in the stomach when I'd come face to face with him. Girl, you're in for it. Oh, this poor man. It was torture to see her again, to not know why she left. She wouldn't even look at me for longer than 2 seconds. She's embarrassed, that's why. She still has the hots for you, that's why. He figured out who Josie's dad was. His name. He walked up to the bar, slapped a picture on the table, said, "Found your girl," and then walked back to the storage closet he called an office. Oh, that's even more sad. I wanted to be angry at Josie, and part of me was. But did I have any right to be? We'd only known each other for 5 days, but it'd been enough to make me want more. I wanted her time. I wanted to build on that 5 days until it became a lifetime. When I agreed to come to Texas, I made plans. I wanted to look her in the eye and ask her why she left me without a goodbye. You get her, Lincoln. No, I'm gonna understand why she did what she did, but it's still like, damn girl, because I'm thinking about my mindset years ago into what it is now, and it's like, you could have just saved all of that shit, stuff you had to work through before you could get to that point. I get it, I understand it, but living it and reading it, is this really over? So close, I could kiss her. I wanted to kiss her. Damn! A phone? Oh, no. I hate this. I feel so bad for him. Damn it. What kind of effing torture did I just read? Because that was so sad. I was gonna ask if you waited for me like I'd been waiting for you. And then he walked away, leaving me standing under the weight of his honesty and hating how it felt. I hate to break it to you, baby girl, but you did it. But I know you felt like you couldn't have it. And I know we have to get through this hard shit to get to the good shit, but dang. Josie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We could have worked something out if I'd been honest with him about my feelings. Now you figure that out. The relationship Josie and her dad have is so cute and so sweet. Flaws were what made a person who they were. If they were all perfect and life was cookie cutter, would it be worth living? We're just gonna leave that there. When you know, you know, and I knew Josie was it for me, even if it wasn't it for her. Oh, Lincoln. Baby, I tell you, you were wrong every day if you'd let me, but that isn't what you need. You don't need me to convince you of your worth. You've got to do that shit yourself. The definition of having to make conclusions, come to decisions by yourself. People can tell you all day, every day, this is what you need to do, this is where you should be, or this is what's going to happen if you do this. But they're not going to get it until they get it themselves, till they believe it themselves in their brain, their heart, whatever. And he understands that, and he just told her that, and we're getting to something. We're getting there. We're making progress. That's progress. You can't base your own value on the words and actions of others, because there are some shitty people in this world who will take advantage of that. They'll put you down to make themselves feel in control and step on you to get what they want. You've got to remember that at the end of the day, you're the one who gives them that power. Lincoln? Josie, if you don't marry this man, because someone who can give you that type of advice, that person is true and is so on your side, it's not even funny. No matter what you've done to them, if they can give you that advice, they're there for you. Go ahead and break. I've got you, darling. So you can put yourself back together. I don't know how. I said I've got you, and I meant it. We'll pick up the pieces together. You are not alone. Amber, what did you create? Because that's beautiful. Beautiful. How much he pissed me off or pushed me, Lincoln had this uncanny way of soothing the horrible negative voice in my head. What's wrong with you, Josie? I muttered to myself. Only one thing, far as I can tell. I turned over my shoulder, watching Lincoln leave the barn. You're not mine. Don't leave me waiting out in the cold too long, yeah. Be fair to my heart in the way I'm trying to be damnedest to be to yours. Fire in my soul, which I didn't know had gone out. That was what terrified me the most. What would happen when he left at the end of the summer, and could I live with it? You won't ever know if you don't ask. I had already chosen her. Would choose her every damn day if she let me. But she had to choose me too. Good morning. As you can see, I am in a different setting, but I was not able to finish the book yesterday in the car on the way here, but I'm about 60-70% through, so we're going to sit this morning and we are going to finish it. I am in our hotel bed. A rugged hand that had once caressed my body so tenderly and full of love, the hand that held my own and brought me pleasure I'd never known. That's so sweet and tender, but holds so much meaning. You can consider this a warm-up. We'll figure the rest out later. I knew she was talking about the dancing, but it felt like more. It felt like she was talking about us, how things may have been complicated now, but maybe they didn't have to be. The reading between the lines and being hopeful for the future, near future, maybe. From the moment I'd woken up that morning, something felt wrong. It felt like I'd lost something, and I'd been sick to my stomach, wondering if I'd ever get it back. Oh my god. All I know is some things are certain. The sun will set, it'll rise again, and you're it for me. That's just the truth. And I think you feel it too. Otherwise, you wouldn't have told your sisters. It would always be me. She got caught. Straightforward laying it out, and then basically telling her what she already said, that he knows. So she just has to make a decision, basically. Oh no. I'm not gonna break her heart, I mumbled, glancing back at the table, but I'm afraid she's gonna break mine. The thing about women with insecurities. That is my girl. I spent my life so worried about the opinions of others to the point it became to the detriment of how I thought of myself. See, and this is where we get to the point where she's like, I need to fix some shit because everything that he was telling me is correct. And the fact, even though she's a little drunk and she has some liquid courage, did what she needed to do. Yeah, girl. You go, girl. If you like touch her and dive vibes, right here. Right here. Remember what I said, Josie. Nothing is holding you back anymore. Independence is one of the first steps. I'd been running from my past and mourning the loss of something I'd never had. Well, honey, what you never had and what you want is staring you right in the face, and now that you're facing all the shit you've been through and that you're going through and you're realizing it and you knowing that you're worth more, now you can have it. Oh, Lincoln, you say you don't have a way with words and most men are not good at it, but I'm telling you, you're doing a really great job. The thought of him touching you, of him thinking he has any claim of you when you've been mine since the moment you walked into Frank's last summer. Simple, so simple, but leaves such a big impact. I want to do this right, Josie. I want to show you that this is real for me. I want to show you how you should be treated. I'm dead, and you know what? In that moment, I'd have been so, pissed, because I'm like, I want this, but at the same time, he's doing it so freaking right. No, take notes. That's what you should do. I've been a stupid, reckless fool, but I didn't have to be. I could stay and fight for Lincoln, for us, for a future filled with laughter, passion, and love. Yes, ma'am. Mic drop. Hold on. You're not playing fair, I groaned. He chuckled and pressed his hips against my ass again so I could feel his arousal. I just didn't want you to go thinking I didn't want you, he whispered, because I may be a gentleman right now, but make no mistake, darlin'. When I fuck you again, you won't be able to walk straight the next morning. You'll remember exactly what it feels like to be worshipped by a man who cares about your pleasure. I'll happily spend hours with my tongue in your sweet little cunt to prove my point. What dirty littleness just came out of his mouth? Because I'm gonna have to write that line down and I'm gonna have to hand it over to my husband, because that each time his lips brushed mine, I felt my walls crumble a little bit more, and for the first time in my life, I didn't mind the destruction it left in its wake. Oh my, how we love almost happy endings. We're not done yet. Deserved more than anyone had given her, a love so complete and unrelenting that she'd finally understand what it means to be cared for without caveats. The gentlemanliest cowboy that I have ever read. If you want to know what an overthinking woman's brain is like, here it goes. I know Josie well enough, and that woman had a damn good track record of getting lost in her head. It didn't matter how many times I told her I was dead set on making her mine, there was always a reason she found not to believe me. And you know what? That describes me 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I wouldn't settle for anyone other than Josie Hayes, the storm-eyed cowgirl who knocked me off my feet the moment I laid eyes on her. Chasing that life meant saying goodbye to things from my past. The thing I really do appreciate about what Amber is doing in these books is that she's setting up the entire series in this book. She's giving you Are you serious? She's giving you insight into the next books that are to come, like for the other people. Like at the very beginning, I know who the next two characters in the second book is. She just announced like the title of it, and like I already know. Thanks. Ew, your shorts with your sweaty balls. I already knew who those next two characters would be, especially by the description that she put in there. Arguing being one of the best forms of foreplay. I knew exactly who it was. And then I already have an inkling of who the third book is about. And anyway, all this to say, I am very happy with how she puts those little like Easter eggs in here for you to get ready and get intrigued and kind of hooked to continue reading the series. All I could think about was rushing out to the cowboy who had my heart and telling him what I should have said from the beginning. I was damn tired of running from the good in life, and that good was him. How far we've come from page 1 to page 230. The way Amber plays on mental health and overthinking and anxiety and all of that things, she does it in a way where it's not too heavy and you can read it and still feel heard and understood, but not go into like crazy depth make you feel heard. An easy topic to brace, but we also know that it is a serious topic as well. I constantly doubted every move I made. My mind played tricks on me. Overthinking was a given. A million reasons not to try. Most of them began and ended with my own fear. For 30 years, I'd been waging a war against myself. My mind was a cruel bitch, relentless in her pursuit of my downfall. She teased and taunted me until I was left with nothing but a sea of doubts. Today was the first day I'd tell that bitch to shut her mouth and go to hell. That shows so much progress in where you are done and you're tired of it and you decide, I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to think like this anymore. I want my life to go in a different direction, and you say enough is enough and you deal with it. And that's kind of how I've always been, where I've never needed medication for anxiety or overthinking or any of that kind of stuff. I kind of just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm going to let the shit go. So even though this book touches on some sort of medication, which you'll have to read about, she basically in this scene is like saying, enough's enough. I'm done living like this. And is changing her mindset. And it is very, very relatable, and probably very relatable to a ton of different people, men and women alike. And I know that it touches me because I am the same way. Like her brain, how her brain works is very similar to how mine has in the past. Knowing there wasn't a damn thing anyone or anything could do to keep him away from me. My mind was the last hurdle we had to overcome, and I was going to run that bitch over with my truck so we didn't have to worry about it anymore. I'm not going to stay somewhere I'm not wanted. So I closed the space between us, standing toe-to-toe with the man I'd fallen in love with a year ago. Reaching up, I gently plucked the black felt cowboy hat from his head. Well, we can't have that. To a cowboy, that damn hat was sacred. It symbolized pride and tradition, a nod to the one who'd come before and paved the way to where we were today. Most carried it like a badge of honor, living their life adhering to a long list of superstitions only they understood. But there was only one universal rule that went above all others. If you wear the hat, you ride the cowboy. I love it when they put the title in the book. Frank only wanted the best for me, and I don't know if you've noticed, but darling, that's you. You know, I used to think it only took me 5 days to fall in love with you, but honestly, I fell in love with you the moment you walked into this little bar tucked between the pines. I may be giving up some pieces of my past, but I'm gaining a damn fine future. Okay guys, I just finished up Between the Pines by Amber Palmer. It is a amazing whirlwind of a beautiful, beautiful love story, a second chance love story, a small town rancher's daughter, horse trainer, whiskey tasting, touch her and I will strangle you type of vibe. I really, 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 really enjoyed reading this book. I Absolutely loved it and cannot wait for the rest of the series to come out. I loved so many points that she made in this book where it was easy to read. It wasn't like too heavy on a lot of topics, but it also had those pinpoints in there where it made you feel very connected and very relatable to the story and to the characters, and it makes you fall in love with them so many times, and it makes you relate to them, and you can just see yourself in the story as well. I cannot wait for the other books in this series to come out, because just the things that she puts in there makes you hooked. It makes you want to know the family and the other characters so much more. It gets you ready and prepared for the next book. So again, make sure you download your copy or buy your book on February 17th, which is today, of Between the Pines, and get ready for a cowboy, cowgirl, country loving love story that is absolutely amazingly perfect. Thank you, Amber, for allowing me to receive a advanced reader copy. I'm so grateful that I did, because I highly enjoyed reading it, and I cannot wait to continue the series with you and everyone else.